I would never disrespect the basketball gods. I understand that it's a real thing, and I would never disrespect the basketball gods when it comes to playing this game. So I put the time and the effort and the commitment in it, mentally, physically, spiritually. Every time I hit the floor or I'm at a practice or whatever the case may be, trying to set the example for my teammates and the younger generation that's watching me or watching me throughout my career. I mean, shit, my son is right over there, so I can't afford to cheat the game ever, and I would never do that, and I got to set an example for him over there, too, so.
You liar!
As Jay-Z would say, if you can't respect that, your whole perspective is whack. Maybe you'll love me when I fade to black.
You are trash. You will never be Mike. You aren't catching the ghost of Chicago, buddy. You beat it. Nothing but love for the sport. Look, smash that like button and hit subscribe as you walk in, folks. I hope every single one of you is crushing it today. Happy Friday, everyone. Now for the bronze sexuals and the super fans worshiping at the altar of James, I honestly hope your week is a disaster. For the real hoop heads, I hope you are thriving. Listen up, the king is at it again. He is back on the mic spewing absolute 100% pure fiction. He is out here claiming he treats the sport with reverence and would never cheat the process. He is talking about being a role model for the rookies and even his own flesh and blood sitting a few yards away in this video. I caught about 4 distinct points in that soundbite I need to shred. Acolytes of LeBron, I need you to open your ears for this one. Let's get specific. He starts off claiming he bows down to the basketball gods. I need a straight answer from his defense squad. Do you honestly believe your idol has not blasphemed against the sport? Has he not mocked the legends who built this league by acting like a clown and tearing down the integrity of the game for 20 years? Answer me this, loyalists. Has he shown contempt for the sport or not? Let's drill down. Do you consider diving and faking injuries a mockery of competition? It is a simple binary choice, guys. Either you think acting like you got shot is shameful or you don't. And I am not talking about slipping up once in a blue moon. I am talking about making theatrics a foundational pillar of your strategy to the point where there are hour-long highlight reels of his acting on YouTube. When deception is that baked into your style, is that not a slap in the face to basketball? We are waiting on your response. How about the crying? Is berating the officials nonstop a sign of respect? Because the energy he wastes screaming at stripes, and sure, others do it, but he normalized it to this extreme level. Now the whole league cries, but he is the patient zero who made it acceptable behavior because he never stops. That time spent crying for a whistle is time you are not focused on the play. It distracts you and hands the advantage over to the opposition on a silver platter. While everyone else is transitioning, he is busy barking at the ref, leaving his squad short-handed and likely giving up an easy bucket or a 3. Is that constant complaining respectful? And notice, he does not wait for a timeout. He throws a tantrum while the ball is live. Is that fair to the coach or the other guys wearing the same jersey? Come on, LeBron stans, give us the verdict. Moving on, is having sloppy mechanics a sign of reverence, especially for a guy marketed as the greatest ever? Does a marquee player who walks and palms the rock as often as this guy truly honor the rulebook? What about bulldozing defenders without getting called for the charge? Is that respecting the competition? We are dying to hear your spin on this. Then we get to the next fabrication in this video, where he claims to be a role model. You know what? Let's run that tape back so you can hear the audacity. I treat the karma of hoops as a serious matter, and I am not going to insult the sport when I am out there. That is why I invest my whole being, mental, physical, and spiritual, into the grind. Every time I step on the court or practice facility, I am trying to be the gold standard for my team and the next wave of players watching my legacy. He claims he is the blueprint for the youth. Let's analyze that logic. To the LeBron apologists, is a guy who fakes injuries this frequently really the prototype you want kids emulating? I actually cut that clip a bit short. Actually, wait, you know what? Let's pause right here for a moment. I will roll the tape back in a minute, but first, to the die-hard LeBron apologists. Is diving on the floor really the blueprint you want to set for the next generation? I want a simple yes or no. Is constant complaining the legacy he wants to leave for the kids watching? And to his loyal fan base, what about jumping ship the second your roster isn't stacked with all-stars? Is that the lesson in loyalty we are teaching young athletes? Ask yourselves this. Did LeBron show leadership back in 2018 after the J.R. Smith mistake? Did he rally the troops or did he freeze out his own teammate? Is sitting on the bench pouting like a child the behavior of a captain? When he storms off the court before the final buzzer sounds, abandoning his squad, is that the standard of professionalism we should aspire to? Is clowning around on the sidelines, acting like a mascot instead of a mentor, really a good look? How about missing the season opener with a supposed sciatica injury, only to be caught on a live stream with Kai Cenat shortly after, dancing and shooting hoops? Is that leading by example? Let's play devil's advocate for a second. Even if you argue that shooting around isn't as physically demanding as an actual NBA game, the optics are terrible. He is dancing and goofing off. It looks bad for someone who essentially called in sick to work. You bail on your job, then broadcast yourself partying. I'm asking you seriously, is that the blueprint for the youth? We are all waiting for an answer. Now, let's unpack this next segment. He claims he can't cheat the game because his teammates and the younger generation are watching. He literally points out his son sitting right there. He insists he would never disrespect the sport. He keeps repeating that his teammates and the kids are watching him, emphasizing that his son is present. He says cheating the game is impossible for him. He is doubling down on this idea that the eyes of the youth and specifically his son keep him honest. He noted that Bronny James is in the building. So let's talk about that specific example. Has LeBron actually been a good role model for his son? Honestly, the fact that Bronny is even in the NBA right now sets a horrible precedent. Let me break down the actual lesson LeBron is teaching Bronny because we are watching it play out in real time. The lesson is simple. It is okay to take the paycheck without earning it. It is okay to hang around and cash in on your name because that is exactly what both father and son are doing. Bronny is an adult. It has to be painfully obvious to everyone by now that he is nowhere near being an NBA caliber player. If the kid had any self-respect, he would walk away. He would stop playing, just like his father should have done by now. His dad opted into a $52 million contract just to coast. He hasn't played a lick of honest defense in years. We all know it. He is actively hurting the team. There are moments where you can see he has completely checked out mentally, and this lack of engagement isn't new. It goes back years. It has definitely gotten worse, but this behavior traces back to the Miami Heat days. It goes back to his time in Cleveland. You can spot these moments where LeBron just disconnects from the game entirely. That is his modus operandi. Basically, LeBron is robbing the Lakers of $52 million, and Bronny is stealing his $8 or $10 million salary. They are both fleecing the NBA. Yeah, I said it. LeBron fans, go cry about it in the car. If LeBron had any actual integrity, he would have retired, and he wouldn't have let his son embarrass himself. He would have taught him that when you can't earn your keep, you step aside. He should have said, son, you gave it a shot, but you aren't ready. That is clear to everyone with eyes. But anyway, I have to ask again, do you really think LeBron is setting a positive example for Bronny or any up-and-coming player? Then there is the point about not cheating the game. This is the second time he has dropped that line. He said the same thing at the ESPY Awards. He wants everyone to believe he holds the sport sacred. But I have a question for the fan club. Is flopping, constant whining, and team hopping respectful to the sport? Is carrying the ball and traveling on every possession honoring the game? Especially for a guy people want to call the greatest of all time. Is that honest basketball? Everyone outside of his echo chamber knows the answer. Finally, he quotes Jay-Z. Maybe you'll love me when I fade to black, playing the victim. Listen to me, fanboys. Do you honestly think your king is going to be more beloved once he retires? I am here to tell you, he has already destroyed that chance. He ruined any possibility of a fond farewell. He torched the opportunity for a retirement where people look back with nostalgia and actually miss him. He stayed at the party way too long. It has reached the point where people are just counting down the days until he leaves. And while he is overstaying his welcome, he is making enemies. He is pushing people to the point where they don't want to protect his secrets anymore. No one wants to cover for him. That is why you are seeing former teammates breaking the code and telling the truth. You have guys like Mario Chalmers and Dwight Howard speaking up, calling him out, even using the B word for his refusal to play defense. You have Kyrie Irving admitting that LeBron tried to get him traded. Even Stephen A. Smith is starting to change his tune. Smith hit the airwaves claiming he is sitting on a treasure trove of dark secrets regarding LeBron. And it really looks like the king is out here torching every alliance he has ever built. Like I have been saying, the man has completely dismantled a legacy that felt artificial from the jump. Honestly, he should have hung up his jersey back in 2016, but he just could not walk away. Now look at the mess we are in, but let us pause for a second because I want to hear your take on this down in the comment section. What is your read on his latest statement where he claims he would never disrespect the sport, all while pouting like a toddler? That is the major tell with him. His physical cues are straight up immature. You do not see the poise or steady demeanor of a man who commands respect. Instead, he is twitchy, eyes darting all over the room, lacking the conviction of someone who actually stands by their own words. It comes off as a rehearsed sales pitch designed to manipulate how you perceive him rather than a genuine expression of truth. Contrast that with Michael Jordan. When MJ said to be true to the game, you felt that in your bones because the man lived it. But when James mumbles about never cheating the sport, he is just feeding us a narrative he desperately wants the public to swallow. Anyway, sound off below. Do you buy his act, or do you think he's full of it when he says he plays things straight? Is he actually a role model for the next generation of hoopers, or is that just smoke and mirrors? Do you really think he holds the basketball gods in high regard? Finally, here is the big question. Once he eventually fades into retirement, do you think the world will suddenly embrace him? Drop your thoughts below. Hope you all have an amazing day, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.